Bay, the city of Jerusalem was restless. Whispers spread through the crowded streets, whispers of betrayal, of trials, of a man who had changed everything. That man was Jesus, Prophet Isa, the one who healed the blind, raised the dead, and spoke the truth of God with words that touched every heart. The leaders feared him, the rulers hated him, and yet the people could not stop following him. 2. His message of love and faith shook the foundations of their power. And so a plan was set in motion, a plan to silence him forever. One of his own disciples, Judas, betrayed him. For a handful of silver, he led the soldiers to the garden, where Isa prayed in the silence of the night. Isa's words had always been words of peace, and even when the soldiers came to seize him, he offered no resistance. He looked at Judas with sorrow, not anger, and said softly, "Do you betray the Son of Man with a kiss?" That kiss marked the beginning of the darkest hours. Dragged before the council, Isa stood calm as false witnesses were brought against him. They twisted his words, accused him of blasphemy, and demanded his death. Yet in the face of hatred, Isa remained silent. When asked if he truly was the messenger of God, he spoke only the truth, and his words enraged the leaders even more. They wanted blood. He was brought before the Roman governor Pontius Pilate, a man who found no guilt in him yet feared the angry crowds. Pilate washed his hands before the people, claiming innocence, yet handed Isa over to be crucified. Soldiers mocked him, draped a crown of thorns on his head, and whipped him until his body bled. They spat upon him and forced him to carry the heavy wooden cross through the streets of Jerusalem. The people watched as Isa struggled with each step, his body weakened but his spirit unbroken. Some wept, others mocked, but Isa's eyes shone with patience and forgiveness. Reaching the hill of Golgotha, the soldiers nailed his hands and feet to the cross. The sound of hammer against iron echoed across the land, a sound of cruelty that pierced the hearts of those who believed in him. As the cross was raised high, Isa looked upon the crowd. Blood streamed down his face, yet his voice carried words of mercy. "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Even in his pain, his heart was filled with compassion. Darkness covered the sky, the earth trembled, and many realized that something far greater was unfolding before their eyes. Hours passed, and his body grew weaker. The rulers mocked him, saying if he truly was chosen by God, he should save himself. But Isa remained steadfast, fulfilling the will of his Lord. With his final breath, he cried out to God, placing his soul in his hands, and then, silence. The crowd dispersed, some in triumph, others in sorrow. His disciples, broken and afraid, watched from a distance. For them, this was the end of hope. The man who had given sight to the blind, who had walked on water, who had fed thousands with a few loaves of bread, now hung lifeless on a cross. Yet, in the deepest silence of grief, faith whispered that this was not the end. This is a story that has echoed through time, carrying with it the weight of humanity's greatest moments of cruelty and faith. It is a story that does not just recount events, but delves into the depths of the human experience, exploring themes that resonate with every soul: the agony of betrayal, the struggle between faith and doubt, the strength found in the face of overwhelming odds, and ultimately, the triumph of hope over despair. If you found meaning in these words, if the story of Isa resonated with your soul, I invite you to share your thoughts. What does the story of Isa mean to you? How does it shape your understanding of faith, courage, or the human condition? Your comments have the power to inspire others, to build connections, and to deepen our collective understanding of this timeless narrative. Let us engage in thoughtful discussions, share our insights, and together, let us keep the memory of Isa alive.